Oh, just in the middle of my 3-kilometer portage here, and just found this little critter here on the ground. Wonder what happened. I think it's a fox, I'm not sure. It's pretty fresh. He's got a wound on his head. Never did I think I would be happy with the headwind, but it's 30 degrees Celsius, so I'll take it. Got a bit of a heat wave coming up, coming days, so I'm intending to make it a super chill trip. I do lots of bird watching, a bit of fishing, cooking some yummy foods, chilling in my hammock. Looking forward to it. There's some things in the water and I wonder what they are. Let me grab one. What is that? Interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have touched that. I don't think I've ever seen the lake this calm and also this quiet. It's almost like all of the birds and animals are having a siesta. It's so peaceful. Had a couple obstacles on this short little portage, courtesy of the beavers. I'm gonna spend some of my last precious bit of tap water to rinse my pants here, because when I lifted the canoe it got quite dirty and I don't mind the dirt, but it smells. It smells really bad. Not perfect, but much better. Not good, that water. Oh yeah, this will do nicely. There's so many nice trees around. I'm having a bit of a struggle. I'm not sure where to put up my hammock. Good problem to have. That was the last of the tap water. From now on it will be swamp water. Trying to find a spot where there's a little bit more of a flow, because the water here is pretty disgusting. Okay, not bad. I expected much worse. I have a feeling that this trip might end prematurely, either due to heat exhaustion or due to explosive diarrhea. I don't know which one I rather have. I do know, actually. Easy choice. Have a little snack and some electrolytes to celebrate that we made it. Have a little bit of a headache, so hopefully that helps. And I also hope that the water doesn't taste as much like swamp. That's alive. I'm real happy right now. So whilst I'm cooking up dinner, thought I'd show you the water situation. There's a little beach here where you can perfectly see it. It looks toxic to me. Like, I do trust the filter, but I think just as a precaution I'm gonna also add some of those drops that are also toxic. Let me show you these things. It's sodium hypochlorite. Almost done. I've got about half a kilogram of bacon and cheddar pierogies with some Dutch cheese and onion. Cheers. This morning I really didn't want to get out there. Just feeling so lazy and demotivated. Knowing that I had to do like a 3-hour drive and that long portage and then pedaling in the burning sun just didn't sound appealing. Now I'm so happy that I did it. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. No one to be. Hi, Mr. Squirrel. Camping to me is kind of like risk management, but then with scenic views. You know, when you're alone, especially if you're not feeling too well, which was the case for me this morning, then you're like, okay, well, is it responsible to go out there away from civilization? What if something happens? But it's all like feeling like, can I do it or not? Sometimes I gotta just take the risk. Another batch. Nice. So beautiful. Gonna enjoy the remainder of the golden hour and then probably go to bed soon. Pretty pooped. He's a hard worker. So cute. He's been grabbing pine cones here and then running all the way to there, and then he comes back again for another pine cone. Even though I just measured this to be leveled, it really doesn't feel leveled at all. So like this side is a bit lower. Alright, I'm gonna hit the hay. See you tomorrow. Just kidding, I forgot my sleeping bag. Probably wouldn't need a sleeping bag, but you know, when it cools off to 16 degrees or so, might be nice. Alright, good night. I think one of the squirrels slept in the tree that is attached to my hammock, because last night, every now and then, there was just a pine cone that fell on top of my hammock, and I heard some rustling up there. So, I mean, it would make sense because yesterday I already saw him running up this tree a lot. So he's probably a bit mad that I'm disturbing, that I'm intruding. Oh well. Okay, try and guess how many liters a pelican can trap water in its bill. 12 liters. That's wild. It's about 2 to 3 times as much as its stomach can hold. 12 liters. Sometimes I like to just scroll through the bird book without actually reading anything, because it's just so cool to see all the different kinds of birds that there are. So many that I've never seen before. Let's see where we're at. So I parked my car right here, and then I did this portage to right here, the put-in, and I paddled through this canal into Jackson Lake, and then I did a small portage here into Kinnert Lake, paddled onwards, and right now we're here at Kinnert Island. I'm not sure what I'll do today. I'll just start easy and might just stay here another night. I might not. The only reason I wouldn't is because of the smell. I already smell the lake. Like already sitting here quite far away from it, it just really smells. But maybe it'll get better over the course of the day. What I thought about doing is maybe paddle around here and try and see if I can just hike this portage here, because I've never been to Dabbs Lake. So I'm curious if this one is accessible. And then I have a nice little pedal and a bit of a hike. I might do that in the morning before it gets too warm. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take it super slow today. The other option would be, so we're here now, would be to pedal down, 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 and then through this canal into Blackett Lake. And then there should be, this East Island campsite that I really wanted to check out. I might have to save it for another trip just because it's really warm, and this is about like an extra 10 kilometers, and then I would have to make another like 20 kilometers back the next day. Not optimal. I might come back in 2 weeks or so. I think it's really beautiful here with all the fall colors. On my way here, I also noticed that a lot of plants and trees are already starting to get yellow, and that's actually quite surprising because it's only late August now. So I wonder what's going on there. Is it the start of fall, or is it drought? Which I doubt because we had quite some rain, fortunately, this year. I don't know. Interesting. Unbelievable. So that's what he did last night. Like, it was so weird, just these random pine cones dropping on my hammock. Now I know. I wonder what he does. It's almost like he's picking the good pine cones and then throws them down, and he runs down and picks them up again, takes them somewhere else, and there he eats the seeds or something. I don't really know what he does, but hard workers, those squirrels. More coffee. Usually I already have to go after my first coffee, but instant coffee hits different. I'm not sure if I want to fish in this water. I mean, it's so bad. It really looks like some kind of active bloom. It's even worse than yesterday, so I might see if I can find some cleaner waters, but I think it won't be any fishing for this trip. That's okay, maybe we can do some foraging. Oh, look! It's a dandelion! Must be the last one of the season! I really wanted to forage some raspberries, but for every raspberry that I foraged, I got like 5 mosquito bites. So I just checked out another campsite, but the situation there is way worse. It was like a thick soup next to the shore, so that's not really an option. Here it's actually relatively okay, so I'm just gonna grab some water already. And then we'll see if we can still find that portage for a little hike. If not, that's also totally fine with me because the sun's really starting to get hot, so I'm not gonna wander for too long. So we'll see if we can find that portage, and on the way back I'm gonna check out some pelicans right ahead of me there. In the distance there's like 10 of them or something. I think they're pelicans, I'm pretty sure. Might be swans. Okay, I don't want to scare them away. I thought I might check out this other campsite, but it's barely accessible. I mean, that's a thick layer of soup there. I'm not sure if the camera catches it. I'm not curious enough to go through that. Nope. So back to camp it is. For lunch I got a deconstructed pancake. I'm watching the pelican fishing. It really tastes like cake. Usually pancakes don't really taste like cake, right? Gonna finish that. And then snuggle up in the hammock in the shade. And do nothing for a couple of hours. Just baking away here. I really get it why people hold a siesta in countries where it's so warm. There's a very slight breeze now, so that should be good for the algae. They might flow away a little bit. But yeah, I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. In the meantime, I'm reading some Roman Stoic philosophy. Pasta for dinner and just gonna have a beer with it. I'm seeing lots of jumps in the water, so it's quite tempting to fish now because it's a little bit less soupy. Maybe after dinner. The thing is, I actually wanted to catch a fish for dinner. Now that I already have dinner, I'm not gonna eat the fish if I would catch it, which I prefer not to fish if I'm not gonna eat it. It's not that I catch fish often, but you never know. That's so convenient, because my spoon was a little bit too short. There's a bald eagle sitting right there on the treetop. I added way too much water. Warm beer and pasta soup. A couple ants in there, I don't know how that happened. Extra protein. So my plan is to set my alarm for 4:30 tomorrow so that I can actually paddle back to the portage that leads to the parking lot whilst it's still relatively cool. It's just not bearable during the day with 30 degrees. I really enjoyed myself doing nothing, but it's also nice to not feel like you're suffocating, you know. Should I fish or not? Also, I feel like there's no salt in here. I do have salt with me, but it's all the way at the bottom of the dry bag, so not gonna happen. Okay, just a couple casts. The water is much, much, much better. I would almost drink this without filtering. Nah, I wouldn't. Here goes nothing. So my initial idea was to catch a fish and then beer batter it. So I had this whole mixture prepared at home, and I would have added the beer and fried it in oil. But now I guess we're just fishing and drinking beer. Also quite fun. Not sure if I'm using the correct lure because the water is so murky. But I'm using one of these spoons, I guess. It's quite bright. It worked before, so it's quite an unappealing angle. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit more toward the grass area there. It's usually where the pike are at. Actually, never mind. The water here is really disgusting. I'm gonna go over there. Okay, I think this area is perfect. Lots of grass. I was really in a different headspace earlier today. I don't know what the heat does to me, but it's quite cranky. I already thought, like, what am I doing here if I can't move, you know? But now I'm really happy. What a couple degrees temperature difference can do. But it wasn't just the temperature, it was also the algae. Like it smelled so bad everywhere, like human feces. I can hear the jumps, but I can't see the rings. Guess that's lazy fishing. You know, I've never fished from inside a canoe. If I would catch something, and I would get, like, if it's a big fish and I would give I'll get a lot of wiggle. I'm a bit afraid that I capsize, and my gear is not prepared for that. I don't have everything waterproof and everything attached, so. And I mean, besides that, I just don't want to fall into this revolting water. Really dominant with my right side, so I gotta train the left side. Faster. Oh, I still have my lure in the water. Imagine if a fish would have caught that. Got this very ancient, old school headlamp for my dad. Has this battery that you have to clip on. Pretty cool. Feels like I'm a secret FBI agent or something. I think it's like 5 drops per liter. It's like just over 2 liters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 3 extra. I also found this pretty cool fishing rod. Might try it out. Very primitive. Okay, I'm all packed up. I already did a camp check since I'll be leaving in the dark, or almost dark. I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave anything behind. Some stuff's already in the canoe, and I've got that ready to go for coffee, my filtered water, and then my bowel movement equipment. I already dug a hole too, somewhere in the bush. I'm gonna go to bed soon, early night, and I'll see you tomorrow. off we go. Let's use some more toxins on our bodies. Ooh. I'm a pretty novice paddler, but if I know one thing, then it's the Canadian stroke, which is what I'm using to pedal. So essentially I pedal and then kind of steer at the very end, like a J curve, or like a hockey stick rather. I noticed that I'm way stronger on my right side, so I tend to use this side for, I would say, a good 80% of my paddling, and I noticed that my left shoulder is getting a bit sore, so it's not ideal. I probably gotta come up with a system where I force myself to also pedal on the left side or something. The downside of the double blade is that it gets a bit wet in the boat, but sometimes gotta pay sacrifices. But it has these drip stoppers, helps a little bit. And the water is okay. It's actually not okay. It's pretty dirty still. Sport mode activated. Then I keep an eye out on the shoreline. Maybe I'll see some moose or bears. Usually they're most active around this hour, but since it's so dirty everywhere, I wonder if they go here for their drinking water. Wow. It's really bad here. That's not good. Oh, that's really not good. Oof. That section was so bad. If I would fall in there, I would... Do you think you would die? I think I wouldn't know what to do. I think I would just die of disgust. That was a thick one. I should have gone around it. But the thing was huge. I really gotta look into how that works with the algae. Quite interested now. Just kidding. But I saw a dead fish in the pad here. Like, it's really not good for anyone, I think. Two beavers swimming there, right ahead. And they're gone. I might swap back to my single blade, catching a lot of grass this way. Okay, I gotta swap. That was a pretty nice trip. I had a good time. I'm underfed and underslept, but over content. Having a breakfast of champions here. Some caramelized onion chips and wash it down with some swamp water. Almost at the dock. Thanks for coming along. If you're still watching, have a great day or evening or life. Until next time.
Oh, look! A dandelion! Must be the last one of the season.